So in this battle, I'm using the Dark deck because I have two challenges to complete. I have to complete putting 10 Dark Evolution cards into play and knocking out 16 opposing Pokemon with my Dark Pokemon. And the deck I'm fighting against is the Dragonite deck. So there's maybe like 5 or 6 theme decks in this game that are considered like top tier, and this is one of them. One of the reasons for that is the Dragonite itself can do 170 damage per turn, and with its ability, it's able to like keep putting energy cards on itself to keep using that attack. So in this battle, it looks like I started out with Salandit, which is not a terrible start if I can get a Psychic Energy card. I have an Oranguru on my bench, which is good. It's good to have him on your bench and not out in front, because he has an ability where if I have less than 3 cards in my hand, I can draw cards until I have 3, which isn't like an amazing ability, but it's good to have. It's better than nothing. So here it looks like I grabbed the Salazzle thinking I'll get the Psychic Energy card I need, and then I could evolve the Salandit into Salazzle next turn. And then I can choose to either go for the poison damage, because Salazzle, when he's evolved, he does 40 poison damage per turn. And the way poison works is it does 40 damage at the end of each turn. So it's like, I'd use it, I do 40, and then if he stays poisoned at the end of his turn, it does 40 again, which is really good because, like, if you look at this Pidgey, if I do 40 to it and the Pidgey stays out, and then the turn ends, the Pidgey gets knocked out when it becomes my turn, so I get a free hit on his next Pokemon. So you can see here I use that ability to draw a free card. So I switched him a while so I could use this Call for Family. Right now I'm just trying to set up, because that's just a big thing in this game, is like, it doesn't really matter when you do 10 damage or 20 damage. Like, it really doesn't amount to much. The important part is setting up your strong Pokemon so that you can one-shot or two-shot the opponent's Pokemon. And so in my case, I'm trying really hard to set up Hydreigon because he does the most damage on my team. He does 120 damage. And because I'm trying to knock out Pokemon, that's my best bet. It's like, set up the Hydreigon, see how many one-shots I can get before I get knocked out. The Dragonite deck, I was saying, is one of the strongest decks in the game. So this is another situation where my odds of winning are extremely low. The whole point of just doing this battle with this Dark deck, which is not a very strong deck, is to try to complete my daily challenges. And so here I can't use Call for Family because my bench is already full. And so in hindsight, I wish I had not put the energy card on the Dino, and instead of put it on the Mawile so I could use Crunch. I didn't realize it, but the way Crunch works is it always does 30. You don't have to flip a coin to do the 30. But then you flip a coin. If it's heads, you discard an energy from your opponent's Pokemon, which is not an amazing ability, but it's way better than what I did, which is not put the energy card and then not use Call for Family, or not attack. So he's doing a good job. He has this Pidgey out using Collect, which is draw a card every turn. And so he's kind of in the same boat I am. We're just trying to set up our strong Pokemon on our bench so we can come out and start one-shotting stuff. So far this battle's not going my way. I grabbed that Salazzle, which was, in hindsight, a mistake. I didn't get the Poison Energy card I was looking for. See, if I had put the energy card on Mawile last turn and crunched last turn, then I could still put the one energy card on Dino. I'd be in the same spot, but when I used the crunch this turn, it would have knocked out that Pidgey. I would have been in a much better position. Oh, so this is a smart idea from him. So he doesn't want the Pidgey to get knocked out because he doesn't want me to take a prize. So he switches it and goes to Grimer. This Grimer is so strong. It has 80 HP, which is pretty decent for a basic Pokemon. But then Collect, he gets to draw 2 cards, and it takes 0 energy cards. It's really, really strong. So here I think I'm going for the Severe Poison so that I can knock out this Grimer. Because like I said, if the Grimer stays in, then he takes 40 now, and then at the end of his turn, he's going to use collect, and then it will get knocked out, and then I get a free shot in his next Pokemon. And because Grimer needs 2 energy cards to retreat, he has to use like a switch or something to get the Grimer out. He also has, Tornadus and Thundurus on his bench, and those 2 cards power each other up. So like when Thundurus is out and Tornadus is on the bench, with 2 energy cards, instead of doing 20 damage, you do 70 damage. And then Tornadus, when he's out with 3 energy cards, his attack does 80 damage, but with Thundurus on the bench, it also does 20 damage to all of your opponent's bench Pokemon, which is really strong. Because there's a lot of situations where you can't one-shot something, but the extra 20 or 40 extra damage you've been dealing to the bench Pokemon suddenly make it so like, oh, the Pokemon that had 100 HP, now it has 60 left, and you can one-shot it. This Pidgeotto is also a really good card. It has the ability Airmail. You get to look at 2 cards. You get to take one, essentially draw one, and put the other one on the bottom of the deck. So that deck he has Pidgey, Pidgeotto, and Pidgeot, but Pidgeotto is so good with that ability that most people don't use the Pidgeot. So usually we try to use the that Pokemon Communication Trainer card, which is like you trade the Pokemon in your hand and you get to choose a Pokemon card from your deck and take that one instead. So there's lots of times where I'm like, I'm glad I have the Pidgeot with that card, so that I basically get a trade for free because I didn't want the Pidgeot anyways. So here it looks like I'm going for the same strategy to use the Severe Poison on the Grimer. And so like this decision makes sense if I'm trying to win the battle. I think in hindsight, because my deck is so much weaker than his, and really I'm just trying to get through these challenges of putting out Dark Evolution cards and knocking out his Pokemon with Dark cards, it would have actually made more sense to use Nasty Plot. I get to search my deck for up to 2 cards and put them in my hand. And so that would have helped me set up rather than just knock out Pokemon. And so that would have helped me grab, like the next evolution of Hydreigon. I could have grabbed like the evolution for Stuffle, and that would have let me draw 3 cards. There's a lot of other things I could have been doing. I think in my head I was just trying to like rush in and say, okay, I'm not going to let this Grimer stay out for like 4 turns and let him basically draw his whole deck and set up his Dragonite and get all the energy cards he needs. So it's really interesting that he goes for Tornadus here, because Tornadus can't knock me out. He can only do 80 damage. But like the Thundurus could have knocked me out. He can do 120. And the Dragonite could have knocked me out if he has the energy cards he needs to use his 170 attack. And so here I'm in a tough spot where I have to decide again, do I do the Severe Poison on this Thundurus, or do I Nasty Plot and set up? So here I go for the Nasty Plot. I think in hindsight, I really should have Nasty Plotted sooner and not gone for the Severe Poison on those Grimers. So here I'm looking to see if I want to do it a trainer card instead. Yeah, so I think I grabbed the Wishful Baton, thinking once my Hydreigon is set up, I can put the Wishful Baton on him, like knock out Pokemon until I die, and then when he gets knocked out, move those 3 energy cards to the next Pokemon that wants to set up. So I could put it on either Oranguru or I could put it on Beware if I had a Beware. And also, because he can't knock me out, unless he switches, I can use Nasty Plot again. So it's like... Wait, should I? I think I messed up. I think I was supposed to evolve Dino last turn. Because if I evolve Dino last turn, then I can evolve into Hydreigon the next turn, and then I can switch out Salazzle and knock out the the Tornadus. So the other thing that's interesting in this game is the way the win condition of the prizes. So like sometimes you could be losing, but if you've knocked out enough of your opponent's Pokemon first, they just don't have enough time to knock out 6 of your Pokemon. So like if I was in a position where I only had 2 prizes left and he had 6 prizes, it's like, yeah, he can start one-shotting stuff with his Dragonite. But if I can knock out 1 to 2 of his Pokemon before he gets to one-shot 6 of my Pokemon, then I'll still end up winning the battle. So he's setting up really well here. He has a Dragonite already, now he has a Dragonair. He has the Pidgeotto on his bench where every turn he gets to use that Airmail ability. He has the Tornadus and the Thundurus, and now he has, I forget the name of that Pokemon. It evolves into Lantern, Chinchou or whatever. And so it's good to have a Lantern on your bench because every time one of your Pokemon gets knocked out that has an electric energy on it, you can move, maybe it's any energy. Yeah, you can move one energy card to the Lantern. Yeah, so you can see he did the 80, and then he did 20 to each of my Pokemon. So I think if I had evolved the Dino the turn before, right now I could evolve into Hydreigon. I could switch out the Salazzle, so that not only saves me a prize, but I could have potentially used the Salazzle again in the future, just like put one energy card and attack. I can use Nasty Plot or Severe Poison. So here I'm grabbing the Beware to get the draw 3. Yeah, so I think in hindsight I should have grabbed that EXP share, because EXP share, what it does is every time one of your Pokemon gets knocked out, you can put one of their energy cards onto the Pokemon that has the EXP share. So it's similar to the Lantern ability. And it's good to do that as early as you can, so that like as your Pokemon are being knocked out, you're getting a free setup on one of your Pokemon on the bench. Yeah, a lot of mistakes were made in this battle. So it looks like he has his Dragonite all set up. He has his Thundurus set up. So he has 2 Dragonites set up. So this is a really bad spot for me. The only thing I have going for me is the fact that I've already knocked out 2 of his Pokemon. I only have 4 prizes left. So here I'm looking at how many cards are left in his deck, because I think he's running low on energy cards. Because the Dragonite has to discard 3 energy cards every time he attacks. So it's theoretically possible that he knocks out, let's say, 4 or even 5 of my Pokemon and then runs out of energy cards and just can't attack. Yep, so he gets the knockout on the Salazzle until all of my Pokemon are hurt 40. This is kind of a big deal, because that means like almost any attack his Pokemon do on any of his Pokemon are strong enough to knock me out. He doesn't even necessarily need to use the 170 attack with Dragonite to get a knockout. So here I evolve. So I'm going to get this knockout because I can do 120. But I'm already hurt 40, so anything that does 120 can knock me out. So the Dragonites can knock me out, the Thundurus can knock me out. Once I am knocked out, I can move those energy cards to something else, either the Beware or the Oranguru. But the other thing that kind of stinks is Oranguru does extra damage when my opponent has energy cards on their Pokemon. But like, let's say he uses Dragonite and then attacks my Hydreigon, he's going to remove 3 of his energy cards. So that means my Oranguru's attack is not going to do as much damage as it could if he didn't remove those energy cards. So this is tough. Like, I spent all this time of the game trying to set up this Hydreigon, and all I get out of it is, looks like I'm only going to get 1 KO out of it. Let's see what happens. So it's 3 to 5. So the prizes are in my favor, but he's just set up so nicely. And so the Beware does 60 damage, and I think it does an additional 60 if the opponent is a basic Pokemon, which the only Pokemon he has like that is the Thundurus. So it only makes, like, thinking about it right now, it would only make sense to use Beware if I'm using it to knock out that Thundurus, because anything else, it's just 60 damage. And like the Oranguru can do that, and the Oranguru will likely do more than 60, assuming his Pokemon have any energy cards at all. Because even if, like, let's say the Dragonite has 1 energy card left, I do 80. If he has 2 energy cards left, I do 100. And so I have the Dino on my bench, I have the Hydreigon in my hand, so now I need to get that second evolution. So I have the Rescue Stretcher in my hand, so I wonder if I'm thinking the Hydreigon gets knocked out, and then I, move those energy cards to probably Oranguru, and then I use the Rescue Stretcher to evolve the Dino. Because I can't, like, I would set up on the Dino and like let him one-shot one of my Pokemon, so it's like, oh yeah, I evolve into the second evolution, and then I evolve into Hydreigon the next turn and knock him out, but I can't even one-shot the Dragonite with Hydreigon. Like, I have the Professor Kukui to do an extra 20, but that only adds up to 140. So I need to get 20 damage on this Dragonite. Which I guess in hindsight I could have done with the Mawile. Like if I had put those 3 energy cards onto the Dino instead, and this turn busted out Mawile, put 1 energy card on the Mawile to do the 30, then his Dragonite knocks out my Mawile, and then the next turn I evolve into Hydreigon and knock him out. So yeah, like looking at it now, it's like it's so easy to see all the mistakes, but in the moment, it's much harder to make these calls. Like, it's not a strict time limit, but there is a time limit. Like, I am trying to, play the match relatively quickly. Yeah, so it's like I spent... Oh, wait, what? Oh yeah, so it did 120 because 60... He had 2 energy cards, makes it 100, and then the Professor Kukui does the extra 20. So yeah, I misplayed this. So once he knocks out this Oranguru, we're going to be tied for prizes. We'll be 3-3. So I only need to do 40 damage to this Dragonite, which is rough because the Mawile only does 30. I don't really want to attack. Yeah, the second evolution, was it Zweilous? I don't know how to say that. Only does 30, so it looks like I have to use this Houndoom. So all I need to do is Fire Fang, but it's like, because that's 30 plus the 20 for the burn is 50. But like, Houndoom's a pretty strong Pokemon. Like, I'm spending the strong Pokemon just to do 40 damage. So this is interesting. So I have the Dino and the Hydreigon, but I don't know if I have another Zweilous in the deck to even go for it. I think I might check for it here. Yeah, see, I don't even have a Zweilous, so I can't even use it. I think I go for the Stuffle because there's a Beware left in the deck, and it's like, I can draw 3 cards, that's something. So this is going to knock out the Dragonite. He's down to 2 prizes. And then once he knocks out this Houndoom, I'm ready to... Assuming he knocks out the Houndoom next turn, I'm ready to take out another Hydreigon. But again, Hydreigon can't even knock out the Dragonite. I can do 120. And I don't think I have time to set up this Beware. But with only 2 prizes left, it is close. Like, if only I could one-shot a Dragonite. It'd be different if the Hydreigon did like 140, because then it's like, oh, I could just, do a combo of like Hydreigon plus the Professor Kukui to get the 160 I need to one-shot this Dragonite. But I think no matter what I do, unless a Dragonite has, what would it need to have? because it's 160. It would have to have 5 energy cards on it for me to one-shot it with Oranguru. So basically, I can never one-shot a Dragonite. So I'm thinking about what to do because there's only 2 prizes left. I'm like, okay, I can do 120 and I can do 30, but that doesn't add up to 160. And the other idea is like, yeah, I just need to hit it for as much damage as I can right now. So I get the EXP share, but I was talking about it earlier. If I had grabbed this EXP share earlier, I could have had more Pokemon set up. And so it's like, it's too little too late. Like, I'm going to attack him, he's not going to get knocked out. He's going to knock out my Hydreigon. That's going to put 1 energy card on that Beware, and then I can attach 1 energy card to Beware. That's only 2 energy cards I can't attack. So him knocking out the Hydreigon brings him down to 1 prize left, and then him knocking out the Beware or whatever else I put out is the other prize he needs. So here I use Hydreigon's ability where I discard an energy card to discard an energy card from my opponent. Just because I know I'm getting knocked out, it's like you might as well. I'm also checking, he has 2 cards left in his deck. I mean, he's going to one-shot me anyways, but like, if there's any chance that he runs out of cards, I could still win. Like if he accidentally uses an ability that draws a card or something. Yeah, so I think this is game over. Because yeah, I'm gonna move this energy card onto Beware. And then I can't do 40 damage. Even if I use Salazzle and poison him, it's like it's gonna do 20 to him. He's gonna knock me out and the game's over. I mean, also in hindsight, I should have used Mawile. Because Mawile can use... Did I do it? No, I should use Mawile because Mawile could crunch. I could flip a coin that could potentially take an energy card off of the Dragonite. That would make it much harder for him to... I mean, I think it would make it impossible for him to attack next turn with the Dragonite. Yeah, I should have done that. Because he can only get 2 energy cards on him with his ability, and then he can only place 1 energy card. That's 3 he can't attack. And also, because he has so few cards left in his deck, I don't know if he has enough energy cards left in his hand. Like, for all I know, he only has 1 more energy card, and he could, like, put it on this Dragonite just to switch to Thundurus to one-shot me. Oh, he uses that to switch, right. So he might already be out of energy cards. That was really smart of him to use that switch. So yeah, so this is going to do 80 damage, it's going to knock out the Salandit. That's the last prize. So it didn't go very well. Let's take a look at how I did for the challenges. So that's 15 out of 16, so the knockouts is not complete. And then putting evolution cards into play, I was able to finish that. So that's good. That's a win.